Hi, my name is Yuyue, and it's nice to meet you virtually. First, please allow me to introduce myself in brief. I'm an introversive and sensitive person, and I enjoy contemplating and observing the world. So art has always been my poetical dwelling, not only because of the aesthetic pleasure, but also because its resistant essence. It fights against death, slavery, famine, and shame, like Deleuze once said. I'm passionate about all kinds of art forms and did some creative works myself. I also love popular culture since it can reflect society's imagination of different issues. I've decided to engage myself in media ever since my sophomore year, but until now, my working experiences haven't really met my expectations, because they are mostly profit-oriented. But it did help me to be proficient in both content writing and visual designing. And this is the intro of the short drama, for which I served as the executive producer. The title My Beloved Wife is ironic, because the project's main marketing point is the heroine is the real protagonist, strong and wise, whilst the hero is relatively delicate, which is also a representation of gender stereotype. And that also reveals the unequal essence of some of the so-called feminist cultural projections, a brutal replication of the traditional patriarchal structure. The male characters seemingly turn into the object of desire, but it's only because women have become the main consumers into this cultural industry. Here, the relationship of capital and power behind transcends the subject-object relationship of gender. Eyes are organs of vision as well as organs of medium, desire, and cognition. When looking at our own eyes by the reflection of mirror, we start to contract ourselves in the gaze of the other. As Neil Postman said, the medium is the metaphor. So, I'd like to unveil the invisibility of media, deconstruct the social power system, disenchant the authority of the mainstream ideology with the faith to pursue the beauty in humanity. Among all current social issues, the problems of gender and race strike me most in daily life. Let me demonstrate it with a post on Weibo, which is the Chinese social media similar to Twitter. This post introduces the living predicament of stateless girls in Malaysia. It aims to arouse people's awareness that women's difficulties are ubiquitous. So I would have never imagined comments like these. These male vested interests just saw a nationalistic problem. They care nothing about other people's life. From my perspective, it lies behind a growing trend of thought in today's China, or in a more general scale, in East Asia. A narrow ethnocentrism in the context of reverse globalization. And it shows the feminism in China is still at the stage of fierce gender opposition between men and women, advancing in difficulty, let alone the other gender subjects such as gender fluid, LGBT. And this is also a typical example reflecting the egoist vibe in the post-epidemic society in today's world. Quoting Hannah Arendt, this embodiment of the banality of evil is widely spreading with the facilitation of today's social media, and it develops quickly to an extent of group polarization. Thus, I believe that this master can help me see through the conflicts and power relationships in social phenomena, which are constructed, represented, and recognized by media from an international and diverse perspective, therefore finding ways to tackle problems. And when I go back to work, I really want my career to be meaningful and worthy. I used to be too prudent to write a comment, because I knew clearly the weight of words, and I tried to take full responsibility for my opinions. Now, still bearing that principle in mind, I've realized the importance of breaking information cocoons and the spiral of silence. Therefore, I want to create a WeMedia account, or join in a cultural institution as a content creator to collect and tell people stories from all over the world. To speak for those who are at the disadvantage of being defined and constructed, being obliged to be absent in the power structure of discourse, combining multiple media forms such as writing and audiovisual language. Meanwhile, I also want to collaborate with some NGO or cultural associations to plan real-life activities to arouse social conscience, as well as helping people with material aid. To bring back stories that have been omitted in history, contribute to a narrative that is being written at present, and always be critical, brave, and caring for the defense of justice and equality. That's what I continue to strive for in life, in school, and in career. I'm Yuyue. I really hope to meet you in person. Thank you for watching.